Hey y'all, this is Brave and I'm back with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 2, Episode 4, and a little bit of Episode 3, just because I missed last week. So here we go. This time I'm going to break things up just by couples and not a play-by-play of what happened on the episode. Alright, so the first couple that I'm going to start with is going to be, of course, the Karen, Zach, and Aaron saga that has been happening since season 1. Alright, so last week we did see Zach and Aaron show up to Sabrina's house because Zach has to drop the clothes off to Karen. I was about to say Sabrina. And while he was there, he gave this long speech about how he finally realized that Karen is interested in Aaron. Like, dude, she has clearly been pursuing this guy for I don't know how long at this point. You've been out of the picture. Like, she does not want to be with you, Zach. And also, like, Zach fails to realize that, like, he was a terrible boyfriend. Like, he cheated on her. He almost had a baby on her. But yet now that he sees that she has interest in Aaron, now he wants to be, oh, Karen, we need to make it work. No, you don't, Zach. Because clearly you're not ready for a woman like Karen. So the next time that we see Zach, he is riding his bike and Fatima, who happened to be on a call with Andy, ends up hitting him while he was on his way to meet with that guy who has the real estate business deals or whatever. So, you know, that he goes to his meeting after his incident with Fatima, and Fatima happens to be one of the people who's there, and he's learning more about the program. I still find this opportunity to be kind of sketch, but we're going to keep watching and see how that goes. And then after that, we come back to a scene with Zach and Fatima outside, and she's trying to, you know, offer him a ride because she done broke baby boy's bike. Oh wow, baby boy, he is very Jody like. Oh my god, I just realized Zach is Jody. Like, the cheating, the conniving, the still acting like a child. He is a baby boy. Anyways, he happens to get a phone call from Pam. I had to remember her name. Pam's messy self tells him that Karen is going to be going to a hotel and that she gave him the room number and all this stuff. And I'm like, girl, you are messy and nosy because none of this had anything to do with you. Like, Pam had no right to involve herself by sending flowers and chocolates on behalf of Zach. Oh, also, I just realized I need to back it up a little bit. So, in the beginning, after Zach went off about how Karen doesn't want to be with him, Aaron had asked Karen to talk to her privately. So they went to Sabrina's room and they had a conversation. And he basically professed how much that he wants to do all types of things. He wants to smoke. He wants to drink. He just want to have a good time and make love to Karen. And honestly, I just feel like Karen is in a tough place because, of course, she's going to have love for Zach, and Aaron is something new. He's refreshing. He has his head on straight, but that man comes with so much baggage. Like, literally, when we met Karen, yes, she was dealing with Zach and his drama, but Aaron has brought in the drama of his wife and her crazy brother. Well, actually, her entire family was crazy, trying to attack Karen just for going on a date with him. He's a minister. I'm sorry, not a minister. He made sure we knew that he was a deacon and that he's supposed to be like a man of the cloth. Like, he should not be wanting to sleep with Karen. But at the same time, he's human. And I completely understand him saying, like, I just want to be able to be human and have feelings and emotions. But Honey, at the end of episode 3, we did see Aaron and Karen in that bedroom. I'm not the bedroom, in the hotel room. And then we, at the top of episode 4, we get a continuance of that. We do see them in the bedroom. And, okay, Aaron, I see what you're doing. Okay. I was here for all of it. That was up until Zach decided that he was going to crash the party. So, as I mentioned before, Fatima was going to give him a ride. Instead of him getting a ride to, let's say, Danny's house or anywhere else, because it's weird that he doesn't have any guy friends, but I digress. He asked her to take him to the hotel where Aaron and Karen were. He goes there, he breaks into the room, literally tosses Aaron out the way, and is spazzing on Karen, talking about, oh, you wasn't doing nothing, oh, you wasn't doing nothing. Excuse me, sir, we're not together. Karen has told Zach multiple times at this point that she wants nothing to do with him. She's basically loving him from a distance. She does not feel like they need to be in a relationship. And I absolutely agree with her. They don't need to be in a relationship because Zach still does not have any respect for Karen. Like, yeah, he's trying to do right now. It's only because there's another man in the picture. If Karen was just by herself and there was no Aaron, he would still be out here trying to do dirt. I need Zach to stop playing. So he ends up getting arrested. And I think that Karen felt bad that he got arrested. But at the end of the day, Zach had no business busting into their hotel room. At all. So, further down the line, not further down the line, Karen realizes that, you know what, this is too much for her. She ends up leaving Aaron in the hotel room by himself. And she ends up, instead of staying there, of course, she sleeps at her shop, at her hair salon. Which, I mean, I feel terrible for her because, like, girl, you can't even go home because that was like a crime scene, and who wants haunting memories of how you had to shoot somebody at your house? So she goes to the shop, and Pam walks in, and she's asking Karen all these questions, again, being messy and nosy like she's always been. And Karen is basically has to tell her, girl, I need you to mind your business because I was not even with Zach. I was with Aaron. Like, honestly, Pam really put Karen in a bad situation. Like, of course, it's a TV show and things didn't get too crazy, but it could have got really bad with Zach's temper and with Aaron going, like, that could have been a really bad clash. But now Pam says she's going to mind her business like she should have been doing in the beginning. So then we see that Zach is in jail. And who does he decide to call, you guys? He calls Fatima, a woman he literally just met. Like, I don't even think Zach knows that she works at a law office. But he just met this woman. And he is already trying to use her to see if she can help him out, and that his bail is $5,000. What's funny, though, is that the cop that comes in is, of course, the woman who's been flirting with him. I don't think I know her name, though. Have they ever said her name on the show, guys? If they have, let me know down below. So, at this point, I just feel like Zach needs to get his life together. He needs to move on from Karen, and he needs to realize that that relationship is over. He messed that up. Like, their relationship did not break up because Aaron came into the picture. No, you were already out the door. And Karen does not owe you to stay with you. Another thing that I have a problem with Zach's character, like, as funny as he is, he uses women. And I can't stand a man who tries to use women. Like, you have no guy friends. Why are you calling Fatima? You just met this woman. You don't know her. I mean, at first, I can't lie, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool, Zach and Fatima kind of making it work. But for him to call her right when he got in trouble, and they only known each other for a couple of hours, bye, Zach. Like, that ain't the move. Alright, so the next couple that I have to talk about is going to be Sabrina and Calvin. Honestly, there's nothing much to say about them because we hardly saw them together on this these past 2 episodes. We only had one scene where they were together, and Sabrina was basically just being supportive of Calvin. And of course, Maurice walks in and realizes that they're trying to throw a party for him. Yeah, nothing really happened with none of those 3 characters, actually. The next couple we're going to talk about is Danny and Preston, or should I say Cowboy. Woo! There were some ups and downs when it comes to this couple these past 2 episodes. Okay, so last week, Zach, after he spazzed, he told Danny, let's go. So him and Danny went back to Danny's place. When she gets there, Preston is already in her house. He has fixed her a meal, something that's really romantic, right? So she asked him, like, how'd you get into my place? And he said that the landlord let him in. Now, I don't know what type of apartment this was, but Danny had a point that the landlord should not have let him into her home because he could have, tried to kill her. So later we see them. They've eaten. She's pissed off about Zach still being there, and she calls him the N-word. So Preston basically tells her that he doesn't like that word, and that, his family tends to use this word. And she was definitely caught off guard, which I would have been as well if I was put in that situation. And he had to further explain that his family is racist. His sister isn't, which is the one that Danny had met at the airport when they first met each other. But the rest of his family is racist. So she goes on to say, like, oh, well, when are you going to tell, your family about me? And he's like, he basically wasn't planning on it because he just wants to get to know Danny. Now, I understand both sides of this, because if I'm in Danny's shoes, like, I would want my man to claim me at all times, no matter if his family didn't like me, whatever the issue was. Like, no, you need to claim me and let your family know you're dating a black girl, and forget them and their racism. But I do understand where Preston is coming from, because at this point, he just wants to enjoy his time with Danny without drama. Like, she comes with enough. I feel like he doesn't want to bring another element that will mess things up with them, because she's very hot and cold within this relationship. So I think that he just wants them to finally get to a place of being happy and enjoying each other. Alright, so on episode 4, though, Danny is in bed, and Preston decides to play a little trick on her and use some handcuffs on Danny while she's in bed. And she's like, okay, Preston, for real, let me, uncuff me. And he is all into, like, this act of, ooh, let me see if I can make her beg, to be unhandcuffed. Of course, it's like role play. So when she's like, oh, I have to pee, come on, I need these cuffs off of me, he hands her a pot and was like, well, I gave you a pot to piss in. So she's like, all right, come on, for real, let me, uncuff me, I really have to use the bathroom, let me go. So then he's like, no, you're gonna have to beg me, gal. And at that point, Danny was pissed. Like, at first she was annoyed. She literally went from annoyed to pissed. she's like, no, uncuff me right now, all serious tone. And Preston literally looked so confused. He did not know what happened or what hit him at that point. So he uncuffs her. She goes into the bathroom. And he's like, Danny, I'm sorry. Like, what did I do? What did I do? I genuinely think that Preston didn't realize what he was saying and doing to Danny. I really think that he just thought this was like a fun role play. Ooh, I got my girl cuffed up. She gonna have to beg me to get out of these handcuffs. And Danny realized that, you know, with her dating a white man, those type of role-playing games, that ain't the move. Because that's basically reenacting slavery. We ain't doing that. So, Danny was in that bathroom pissed, like, what type of slave play did he think we were about to do? But I do think that moving forward, Preston and Danny are going to have to really work hard in making their relationship work, because I do like them together, but I just feel like there's a lot of racial things, as well as Danny's insecurities and Preston not really knowing a lot. Not saying that he's like dumb or anything, but like it doesn't seem like he knows a lot about like black culture or things that would like piss black people off. So I just think there's going to be a lot of learning experience that these two are going to need. But I don't hate them as a couple. Alright, you guys. And lastly, we have the Andy and Gary drama. Alright, so last week, Andy met with Hayden, who's more than likely going to represent her throughout this, I guess, situation that she's in with Gary and all his embezzlement and all that drama. And he basically told her that she needs to try to talk to Bellamy and get him fired, because he knows a lot that's going on with Jasmine and Morris. So she also ends up talking to Sabrina, which was very interesting, because I feel like we hardly have ever seen Andy and Sabrina have, you know, just a one-on-one interaction, which I liked. However, when Andy asked Sabrina, am I dumb? And Sabrina's like, no, you're one of the smartest women I know. Girl, yes, she is being dumb. She is being hella dumb. And then Sabrina goes to put the battery in Andy's back to believe that Gary is still being set up. So now she wants to reach out to that one detective lady. I can't remember her name right now. She wants to reach out to her and see if she still has those files. Now, as I mentioned earlier at the top of my review, when I was talking about Zach and Fatima, remember I said that Fatima hit Zach? Well, it's because she was on the phone with Andy, of course, trying to be Andy's saving grace. So basically, they were on the phone about reaching out to that private investigator to get the files back that Andy seemed to lose when the FBI decided to search her place. Alright, so episode 4, we see Andy. She's in the bed at Sabrina's house, doesn't want to move, doesn't want to get up, but of course Sabrina's like, girl, you got to get up, you got to be a fighter, you know, this is not who you are. So Andy's like, okay, well, I don't have anything to wear because I don't have any money, I don't have anything. So Sabrina, being the nice friend that she is, she ends up giving Andy her credit card. And Andy had the audacity to tell her, oh, well, the limit on this isn't going to be enough. Excuse me? Sabrina is not funding your lifestyle. Sabrina is not providing a full wardrobe for you. This is enough for you to go out, go to Macy's. They always got a sale. You could have hit the Ross, the Marshalls, the anywhere, and got you a decent outfit just so that you can go talk to Bellamy. Y'all, when she decided that she was going to reach and take all of Sabrina's cards, I was done. Because Andy is too entitled. Like, honestly, Andy is not a likable person. Because It's like she only has respect for Karen. She has no respect for Danny. She has no respect for Sabrina. She definitely had no respect for Fatima, who was always trying to save her and help her out, which I'm going to get on that a little bit later. It's annoying to see this woman who is supposed to be this lawyer and have these good people around her that she treats like crap. It is so annoying to watch. But then we also see her chasing Gary down like a lost puppy, like as if he's something to really be interested in. It's whatever. So we then see Hayden. He actually goes and talks to Gary just to kind of hear his side of things. And of course, Gary does what he always does. He realizes that it's a man that's trying to help Andy, and here he goes into protective, controlling role that he does, which is so annoying. Here's my thing about the whole Gary situation. Andy is really trying to be all in for Gary when it's like, girl, you need to leave the situation all the way alone. You are literally proudly his mistress because you knew that he had a wife and you decided to participate anyways. This man got kids, and he got kids with special needs, and you decided to participate anyway. Now you know that, like, there's this whole embezzlement thing. He kept lying to you, saying that he was going to leave his wife, and he didn't, and all this drama, and you still want to chase after him? I don't understand how Andy is a successful woman and she is chasing after Gary. Oh my God. Y'all, we gonna see how this season goes. So, we next see Andy. We see Fatima. She is in the office and she receives a box that was supposed to be from Gary, and she's talking to Hayden as she's opening up this box. And when she opens up the box, it's not to where Hayden can see, but she's kind of like freaking out because it's just stacks of money. And I mean like stacks, y'all. Stacks of money. And of course she knows that it's for Andy. So when Andy comes in, Fatima tells her, like, hey, this is something from Gary. Do you want it? And Andy's like, no, I don't want anything from him. She said, are you sure? And Andy's like, yeah, I don't want anything from him. And she's like, well, just look in the box. So she looks in the box, sees that it's money, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll take it. I can't lie, I was pissed off at the fact that she didn't want to break Fatima off no money. I'm sorry, but this girl has been trying to save you at every chance since season 1. Actually, I feel like since we've met Fatima, she has trying to be ride or die for Andy. And I'm like, Andy, you can't break her off at least 2 stacks? Like, there's literally stacks of money here. You couldn't break her off with at least 10 G's? Wow, Andy. Wow. So, Fatima holds on to the money while Andy goes and talks to Bellamy. And Bellamy basically tells Andy that he does have something to do with Morris and whatever Gary's wife is, Jasmine. He has something to do with Bellamy and Jasmine. And she then goes and confronts the person who's above Bellamy. Because she recorded him, so she plays the recording. And now Bellamy is in hot water. But one thing that I remember from watching this scene is that Andy did not take the recorder back with her. And I'm like, Andy, you had one job. That was to record this man and keep the recording with you. Why would you leave the tape recorder there? Now, I don't know if that was just like something that happened and they didn't catch it when they were filming this, or if she purposely had to leave that. But we'll see. And after that, she like leaves out of the room and is like crying to Fatima. So that's where the episode ended. We will see what is happening on the next episode of Sistas. Tyler Perry is cranking out all the drama, okay, when it comes to Sistas. and I will continue to watch. I hope that you guys like this review. Again, this is Brave Thoughts. Please like, comment, and share. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. Please drop your comments down below. Oh, and subscribe. Please subscribe. All right, guys. Bye.